commissions to have a lot of information when they go to recommend to the Assembly what should be happening. Common sense applies to most of them. Quasi-judicial decisions require another step. Anyway, I'm happy with my service on the boards and commissions and think I did that we did a great service to the borough. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Johnson. We'll now move into closing statements from each of the candidates. Once again, we'll start with Mr. Steve Colligan, candidate for Assembly. As a reminder to you that you will be able to vote for 2 of the 3 candidates on the October 4th election. So, Mr. Steve Colligan, a 3-minute closing statement, please.
Thanks. Well, thank you again for allowing me to be here today as a fellow business owner and business person. As a lifelong Alaskan, I'm very interested in what happens in Alaska, creating jobs and creating opportunities. I grew up in a boom, and I'm not real excited about seeing a boom, but I am interested in developing industries and quality jobs and family wage jobs, not living wage jobs, family wage jobs. Family wage jobs are where you can support a family and all the other great things and activities we do as Alaskans. Living wage jobs, to me, are minimum wage jobs where you barely scrape by. And a good quality of life starts with a good job. I'm interested in some strong economic development to underpin our education and all the other things that we want as Alaskans and Mat-Su Borough residents. Fighting over the last dollar on the table is part of our biggest problem in our community. I've worked with the Sportsman's Committee for a long time, where we're fighting over the last moose or the last fish. We finally partner together with subsistence and commercial efforts to look at what it takes to grow more so that we all win. And that's what we need to do in our community. In closing, my mission is we focus on economic development, jobs, education, and affordable energy. We cannot do development and support business, and especially light manufacturing, without some affordable, definable energy. My company are very supportive of Susitna, doing work on that, and I think it's one of our chances to underpin and provide a foundation. But we also need to be more creative than that. Bottom line is I'm asking for your vote. Let your friends know in Wasilla. I put materials on the table. I'm free to give me a call if you have any other questions, but thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Steve Colligan, candidate for Mat-Su Borough Assembly. We'll now ask Mr. Pat Johnson for a 3-minute closing statement.
Okay. Mind if I use the podium again?
Please do.
Once again, my name is Pat Johnson. I thank the Palmer and Wasilla Chambers for sponsoring this candidate forum. It's been a pleasure to participate. I want to thank the people who have taken the time to talk with me at more than 700 of their doors that I've knocked on across the district. I hear a lot of wisdom and common sense that needs to be part of our process as we try to find good ideas and make them work for a better valley. My military service, job experience, and many years of volunteer work have taught me to listen, to respect and genuinely keep people of this valley in my heart. Working together, we will be more economically self-sufficient, have better educated children, and make sure that we have a place where our future workers will want to live, work, and play. I expect to call on my experience and the content of my character to do the best job possible in representing the district that I've lived in for the past 46 years. I'll keep working to keep our valley the best place to live for our children and for our grandchildren. And I look forward to your support on October 4th. Additional information is available at each of the tables, and I have some buttons out there by the door, just outside these doors. Please visit my website, patlivesinwasilla.com, or my Facebook page, Pat Johnson for Borough Assembly. If none of these tickle your fancy, I can be reached at 376-6225, and I'm in the book. I look forward to hearing you and visiting with you after this meeting. Thank you for having me once again, and please remember to vote on October 4th. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pat Johnson, also a candidate for Mat-Su Borough Assembly. We'll now ask Mr. Darcy Salmon for a 3-minute closing statement. Darcy.
Thank you very much again for having us here today. I'd just like to close with, when I first began this campaign, I did have an opponent facing me, and I began with a philosophy that I was going to promote to the public. I call it the POP philosophy, and POP is P-O-P, progress, opportunity, prosperity. You notice I say prosperity, not wealth. I'm not out here to make people wealthy. I'm out here to make us prosperous. And I'm blessed that District 5 has set the table for the future for not only Wasilla, but Palmer will receive trickle-down benefit. A lot of people ask, well, what's in it for Palmer? Well, what's in it for Palmer is less taxes to your personal bank account. So what we got is the table's set, the things are ready, the Connect Arm Bridge is near completion, the port is ready for expansion, the rail money, we started on that 13 years ago, you got 50 million in there now, so that's a very real project. The Point McKenzie area is, in my opinion, the economic wheel. I am very emotional, but I temper my emotions with rationality, so I call it rational emotionalism. I can't, that's true, I'll stand down here. If I'm proven wrong, I'm the kind of guy that can change my mind. But I see the things that we did when I was the mayor as being prepared, and it's back to the future. We set them in motion. This is a good lesson for you all, though. These things that we're talking about today in District 5, I've been working on for 25 years. 25 years of my life I've committed to that district. I've got the same home, the same phone number, lived in the same house for 23 years. This district has always been, in my opinion, what was the future of the South Central economy in the state of Alaska. You notice I say South Central, not the Mat-Su Borough. How do we get to Anchorage? We show them through rational emotionalism how it's in their best interest to help us help them. We get the rail spur into the Fairbanks, into the area in the interior, then we bring them in. We've never been able to bring them in. Everybody looks at our little provincial nature of territorialism. I never looked that way. I've always looked beyond, looked in the large scope, the vision for the state of Alaska. We're all Alaskans. Yes, we're all Mat-Su Borough residents, but we're all Alaskans, and specifically, South Central can be the blessing to all Alaskans. And the Point McKenzie area, again, I'm very interested and anxious to get out there and get my fingers in that and begin to create the actual visual opportunities that I've had as a psychic event in my life for the last 25 years. So I appreciate it. It looks as though I will be seated, but I want you to know I'm very stable. I raised my 3 kids. I've been married to my wife 21 years, same house, same phone number, same everything. I'm in the book, as Pat said. So open door, able and willing to listen, but I do believe in leadership, and I am the kind of guy that you elect me, I will pull the trigger. When that thing is set before me, you'll never wonder which side of the coin I'm on. I'll let you know up front early. I'll let you know the reasons why. And if it comes down the wisecracker line somewhere to run again for re-election and you don't like what I did, hey, I can live with that. But now you know my motivations. Thank you.
Thank you again to all 3 candidates for spending time with us today. Of course, we have Mr. Steve Colligan, Mr. Pat Johnson, and Mr. Darcy Salmon, all candidates for Mat-Su Borough Assembly. I also want to thank Dr. Dina Paramo for helping explain the school bonds and also for the explanation of the road bonds. So if we could once again give a round of applause for our 3 candidates. And we'll now turn the meeting back over